Greetings, and welcome to A Year of Movies, a Planet Geek production. For this project, we are using the Ivan Walters reference book of 365 films to watch on the day they happened. Each day, we watch a movie associated with the date we are watching it on. And as it is the 26th of July, we are going to be watching Evita from 1996, directed by Alan Parker and starring Madonna. So at the time when this movie was coming out, it was kind of hard to avoid not knowing anything about the making of or creation of this movie. For Andrew Lloyd Webber, it's remarkable unto itself. And secondary lead to this movie, so not to know anything about this particular movie. However, that being said, this is actually the first time I've actually watched this movie. I've seen scenes, I've seen a couple of the musical numbers, kind of hard not to. Slightly operatic yet slightly rock sort of sound to it, but yeah. And like I'd already mentioned, not only does this movie star Madonna, but it also stars Antonio Banderas, Jonathan Pryce, and Jimmy Nail. Eva Duarte Perón rises from poverty to become an Argentinian actress, and President Juan Perón, played by Jonathan Pryce. Eva transforms from the impoverished teenager to a woman of influence and power. After the death of her father, Eva travels to Buenos Aires and begins a string of relationships with powerful men before she meets Juan. Power and influence earns her both admiration and hatred. So it's a very interesting story. On the basis of the story alone, through circumstances of her own doing, to become sort of almost a political leader upon herself, adoring public and whatnot. Both Antonio Banderas and Jonathan Pryce, as well as the rest of a fantastic crowd backing her up. This is a very wonderful movie to watch. Now, it is a extreme musical, long-running songs throughout the whole entire thing. You can imagine watching the performance in a theater stretched over like a 2.5, almost 3 hour probably performance. Settings for the era, the costumes look gorgeous, the set decorations and whatnot are great. Really cool kind of explosions. It's a version of this, so it's on a bit of a higher level sort of thing. The music is fantastic. It's definitely, like I mentioned at the beginning, the soundtrack is memorable from the era when it came out. Phrases being spoken throughout it are something that is, if you were a fan of the music at the time, is something that stuck with you. Which is nothing against the movie, it just definitely dates the look of the movie. And again, because of this being a translation of a actual theatrically performed musical, there is probably no more than about 50 actually spoken words. Everything else is just sung. So it's musical that you would see in the movies. Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical talents. So near the very beginning of the movie, it's announced that Evita, or Eva, has died. That's about 2 minutes into it. She becomes ill and then dies again as part of the story, because we jump back and forth in the timeline, prompting an outpouring of grief. 2 hours and 3 minutes into this 2 hour and 15-minute movie. And when it came to the Academy Awards of that particular season, Best Song, and got nominations for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this particular episode and look off into the future to see what we're going to be watching for tomorrow, and that is going to be for the 27th of July, and that is High Noon from 1952. So until next time, go see a movie.